Well, Sergey Butenko. I screwed it up, though. Man, you're living the dream, aren't you, man? Doing what you want to do, helping people, and figuring out a way to make a dollar at it, man. What could be better than that? That's wonderful. I mean, did you ever have a normal job or not?
I've had enough normal jobs to realize I don't want another one.
But now I bet you're working harder than ever before, huh?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
On average, lately I've been doing 12 to 16-hour days, but I've been loving it.
Yeah, that's what I can understand why people want to do nothing in life. Man, life is like, how much can you do? How much can you give? How much can you contribute? Yeah, and that's what you're doing. But man, you're teaching us how to live better, aren't you? You're teaching us about how to eat better, how to exercise better. But you went on Kickstarter and raised over $6,000 for a deck of cards? Man, why would people need another deck of cards? But you made them special, didn't you? What'd you do?
I did. I had this idea. I recently published a book, and the book is entitled Wild Edibles, and it's all about what foods you can eat for free that grow in nature. But, the problem with the book is it's bulky. We actually don't read anymore, so who knows if people will buy my book. And I figured if I condensed that information and put them in a package that could fit into your pocket, people would listen. So I took the valuable information out of my book, put them on a deck of cards, so you can take that deck of cards with you anywhere, hiking, backpacking, on your drive to the mall.
I see.
You can play poker with them. And it also doubles up as flashcards that tell you what's edible, why it's good, why you should eat it, how to eat it.
Well, no, so you're saying that when we're out in the wilderness almost, or camping or hiking or whatever, there's a lot of stuff, or even in our backyard, that we're going to pull this stuff and throw it away. We really could eat it, and it's better tasting than most of the stuff we're buying.
Absolutely. We are surrounded by free, unintentional food.
Wow.
And we just have no idea. So if you're a gardener, or you have, if you basically have eyes and ears, you've probably walked by tons of food that you may not know is food, but it's still food. And it's very high quality. It's better than organic, in my opinion. And it's there to help us. So these cards will show you what you can eat. Half the weeds that sprout up in your garden are incredibly nutritious, can be delicious depending on how you prepare them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a discussion prior to this recording, and I was telling you that I saved thousands of dollars every single summer by eating wild edibles.
Wow. But more importantly, you said you went to these organic farms and saw that they had more food they were growing there by accident that didn't even know.
Yeah, totally. And actually, it's funny that you say that, because at my local farmer's market, several years ago, I started this conversation with a local farmer. I said, hey, and I brought a little physical sample of purslane, a wild edible, and I said, do you have this at your farm? And he said, I do. It's a plague. I said, can you bring me a pound of it next week, and I'll buy a pound from you? And he said, that's crazy. Just come out to the farm. You can weed for free. Fast forward 5 years, he's selling purslane and other wild edibles at his farmer's market. So what in effect happened is I educated this guy. He expanded his market. He now sells things that no store does, so more people go to visit his booth.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. And that's why, I mean, to me, what you're doing, not only, teaching people how to eat better, you're helping people how to be entrepreneurs by selling weeds. They don't have to invest any money in growing that stuff.
They really don't. Here's another example. So for many years, I grew a garden because I think it's important. It's,
Right.
especially as food costs rise. But then I realized, why the hell am I putting all this effort and money and water into these plants that are nowhere near as nutritious as wild edibles? So I harvested some wild edible seeds and I dried them. And the following year, this is what I did. I soaked the seeds in water. I went in my backyard and just tossed them. And I forgot about them. I didn't have to do anything. I came back 2 months later, and there was dandelion greens and purslane and malva and miner's lettuce. And I just pillaged them, threw them in my Vitamix, blended them up with some fruit, and made a green smoothie, and it didn't cost me any work or money or time or anything.
Wow. Well, another prize. So you raised like, $6,000 to help you make that deck of cards. Is going to be in January, right? So people go to your website even now and start ordering for January, and your website is Sergei SergeiBoutenko.com. Right? And then also you're working on a documentary video on how eating these vegetables that you find for free could improve your endurance, your running, and everything. And you took these triathlete runners and did an experience. And what happened to these guys who lived off your greens?
Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you that because I'd have a lot of Kickstarter people be really mad because I promised I'd tell them first.
Okay.
But I will say that I put 10 endurance athletes on a green smoothie that I made for them for 6 weeks. I have a full feature-length film coming out at the end of January, and the results were incredible.
Wow.
You guys wouldn't believe that you too could benefit incredibly from just blending greens and fruits together in a blender.
Well, it has to be. You're putting junk in your body, man. It's sort of like putting bad gas in the car. It's not going to run very well. So the better you got the input, the better is going to be the output. Well, that's terrific. So you really created this life for yourself of I guess it involves travel, and you're an author. You're into fitness, but sharing that information you're getting about how to live off weeds, man. Boy, that talk about a sustainable living. Now, if you could get us how to live off stupid politicians, that would be even better.
That's my next book.
So what else do you have? And actually, I should let people know that you have a unique family. Your whole family's like this. I mean, you went on a hike from Canada, or from Mexico to Canada, 6 months, 2,600 miles. Your whole family did it, and most of the time was living off wild weeds. Huh? God, that's fantastic.
I had really good examples. My parents were very alternative, and at times I had no idea what the hell they were trying to teach me.
Child abuse.
Saying where your mom says, "One day you'll thank me."
Yeah.
I really did have one of those aha moments, and I repeatedly do when I'm like, oh my goodness, the reason she only spoke to me Russian when I was growing up is so that I could be bilingual. She was right. The reason she took me on a hike that was so long is because that helped me develop an appreciation and love for nature. She's right. And so on and so forth.
Well, see, now, not only that she gave you that as a wonderful gift, but now you could see how important it will be to give that gift to your kids, too. So
future kids have no idea what's coming. I'm like, as I near 30, I'm thinking, what kind of crazy life can I put my kids through? The wheels are turning.
Well, it makes them resilient, like you. I mean, now you know that you could land on your feet and do whatever the hell you have to do to get things done. And I think that's the best thing a parent can do, whether it's through education, formally, informally, or whatever. There's nothing better to give. Well, you're a treasure, Sergei, and mainly by encouraging people to find out what they really can do in life, and they don't need a lot of money to do it, whether you go on Kickstarter, get the money you need to do the project you need, or live off weeds that are free and people are throwing away. What could be better than that? Well, you're a gem. Now, why can't we get more people to do this, huh, Sergei?
I think fear is a huge either motivator or demotivator, and I know you know this because we just talked, and I hope that more people figure this out, maybe from hearing you or me, that you never know unless you try. And so what if you fail,
Exactly.
As a toddler, you tried to walk and you fell down a bunch and you just kept trying. And
that's right. See, if your parents said, don't do that, you're going to fail, you wouldn't be walking today, right?
Exactly.
Well, wonderful, Sergei. You keep failing. I'm going to try. and it's SERGIEBOUTENKO.com.
Do it. Go to my website.
Take care.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.